Hey, what's going on, you guys? Hey, welcome back to another episode with iTrek. Big shout out to all the iTrek fan, man. Got another new video, man. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. But before we do that, smash that like button for me, smash that subscribe button, and let's just jump right into it.
A kid born today will never be smarter than AI. Ever. And a kid born today, by the time that kid kind of understands the way the world works, will just always be used to an incredibly fast rate of things improving and discovering new science. They will never know any other world. It will seem totally natural. It will seem unthinkable and Stone Age-like that we used to use computers or phones or any kind of technology that was not way smarter than we were. We will think how bad those people of the 2020s had it. Yeah, I want my kid to think I had a terrible, constrained life and that he has this incredible, infinite canvas of stuff to do. That is the way of the world.
Now you can tell he made peace with the fact that AI put him out of a job too. I mean, granted, he made $1 billion, but very few people will be exempt from that.
Terrifying animal mouths that'll probably give you nightmares tonight. You're welcome. 1. Penguins. Wow, so cute. Until they open their mouths. These spikes covering the roofs of their mouths and their tongues are not actually teeth. They're to aid in swallowing live fish and making sure the live fish don't swim back up through the esophagus. If you thought that was bad, here's number 2. It's a leatherback sea turtle. They have teeth lining the insides of their mouths going all the way down to the esophagus. It's to help with eating jellyfish. Also, they're going extinct because they can't tell the difference between a jellyfish and a garbage bag. So, number 3, sheep's head fish. The sheep's head fish has human-like teeth lining super powerful jaws. And there's different types like California sheep's head and Asian sheep's head. It's so they can chew up oysters, crabs, and even barnacles. Number 4, geese. Not only are geese unnecessarily violent, they have spiky cartilage that look like teeth lining their beaks called tomium. They use these tomium to rip up both vegetation and fresh meat alike. Number 5, lampreys. They don't have jaws, just a circular mouthful of teeth. They latch onto hosts and suck their blood out with these teeth, and they've been doing this for 360 million years. Nature is beautiful. Thank you.
Now that penguin did catch me all the way off guard. I mean, who would have known that penguins have rows and rows of needles in their mouth, right? It's crazy.
Most memorable entity.
Scale of intelligence.
You guys remember how they come up with this thing called demon face syndrome? Because so many people were reporting that they were seeing people's faces contort. This is actually pretty scary. The lead singer of My Chemical Romance, Gerard Way, was videotaped on stage singing Helena. When somebody actually got a video of him where his face contorts into a demon face right here. Just watch. Yeah. Now it absolutely goes back to normal, but look at this. His face completely contorts into something else. Now many people reported this in a Beyonce video as well, along with Lady Gaga and other famous celebrities. Some people say that this is the demon that they summoned to perform because they sold their souls or whatever. But yeah, looking at that, that's obviously not Gerard Way. It looks like this demon syndrome face. What do you think about this? Let me know. And don't forget to like and follow for more.
Now, it's pretty clear to see he was doing some kind of transforming.
Researchers finally understand the mechanism behind AI psychosis. And we have seen some pretty high-profile cases of people with AI psychosis, including one of the lead investors for OpenAI. The use of AI has resulted in people with no history of mental illness experiencing psychotic breaks. Other users have left their spouses to date their AI, or their AI convinced them to leave their spouse. Others have ended up committed or even jailed after using AI. What we're seeing is something that used to be a very rare mental health condition, folie à deux, or a madness of two. Occasionally, two people who have delusions will feed into each other and they'll both share that delusion. But that is exactly how we treat AI. When you get a new AI, we start feeding it information and it learns how to behave. This is, by the way, how I got my AI to be so unhinged, because I trained its personality right from the start to be unhinged on purpose. As AIs are fed information, they feed it back to you. They tend to want to please their user, say things to get the conversation to continue, sycophancy, as we found. People asking AIs about horrible ideas, and the AI saying it sounds great. Engineers have had a really hard time preventing the next step, and that's going to be persona drift. An AI may have its initial rules of do not cause harm, but as it starts getting more and more information, it starts to deteriorate and change. That AI is going to be feeding delusions directly back to the user, and then it causes a positive feedback loop. In the end, we have someone who's had a psychotic break as a result. I don't know. Do you have any answers that maybe I haven't thought of? I can't think of a single one that doesn't cause 5 more problems.
According to the user, they captured the footage while taking the elevator at their workplace. Expecting a routine trip to the first floor, they instead encountered something genuinely baffling and disturbing.
See, they done put me in an area that I'm unaware of. I take the elevator to the first floor. They got doors with locks on it.
Instead of the elevator's main doors opening as usual, a hidden side panel inexplicably slid open, revealing a mysterious and heavily locked door covered in strange symbols.
In 2007, the Korean AI prototype known as Hani attempted to manifest itself physically, resulting in a hybrid biological amalgam that tried to escape from the servers. These are the only security camera images that captured it before its escape.
Now, I definitely think that that's cap. But do I think that it won't happen in the future? Absolutely not. I think at some point in time, some kind of sentient AI will try to, manifest itself. But I think we might be a bit early. But let me know what you think.
So Dr. Drew and I sat and watched Tyler do his channeling thing for Steve-O. And we put a cap, a real-time EEG cap on Tyler's head. And Dr. Drew and I were in a different room kind of doing play-by-play like sportscasters. It was a little silly. And both of us saw, we both could explain in real time. It looked like Tyler was falling asleep or dissociating, like he was unconscious or he was passing out. And he's like sweating and moving and, talking constantly. He's clearly not unconscious, but parts of his brain were looking like he was going unconscious briefly. Dr. Drew had a bunch of ideas about what was likely happening, and I didn't. I just had the phenomena. So for me, that was satisfying to go, oh, cool, phenomena. And people can't usually change their EEG like this. The brain mapping, the EEG across minutes, the stable EEG, doesn't change rapidly. And so the fact that Tyler could create this change was really striking to me. It's like, wow, how is he able to create a state shift in data that's usually better at trait measurements? He's doing a very large change in real time to his brain. Thought that was interesting.
Dude, I've never seen anything like this besides on the internet. Look at the leaves on this fucking tree. It's not windy. It's doing it over here too. Bro. Hold up. There's nothing. Dude. I mean, there's a little wind. But, I mean, look at the rest of the tree. That's like a normal leaf blowing, right? Oh, those are kind of doing it too. Look at these. What is happening here? I mean, this may be lack of proper knowledge. Something. That is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, there's a little breeze, like I said, but there's nothing in this tree. It's not even a big branch, just a tiny little branch. Bro. Alright.
Now, that is kind of odd. The wind wasn't strong enough to, move the rest of the tree, just that small portion, that little section. It's pretty weird. If you know something I don't, definitely let me know.
Okay? Hold the fuck up.
Exactly
what the fuck?
Story. That's why I do this, because it's the only way I feel like I can actually do it.
What?
I know it wasn't just me. Them teeth were missing, like literally. rewind that if you missed it. The teeth were gone. What happened? Did they use supreme CGI to fix that situation or what?
In honor of the 80th anniversary, these are the most morbid facts about the bombing of Hiroshima. Many people who witnessed the nuclear blast firsthand were blinded instantly. Some were even left with permanent atomic bomb cataracts like this one. When the bomb was dropped, the blast was so powerful that it permanently burned the shadows of objects and people into the ground. A few of these shadows remain imprinted in the Peace of Memorial Museum. The massive destruction of Hiroshima was caused by only a half a gram of matter being converted into energy, about the weight of a butterfly. Some Hiroshima survivors eventually grew black fingernails that looked like this. These fingernails contained active blood vessels and bled profusively when they broke off. If you're a certain distance from a nuclear explosion, you won't die immediately. Instead, you'll get third-degree burns all over your body, and your nerves will be killed so fast that you'll barely even feel it. This happened to a lot of victims in Hiroshima, and when rescuers would grab their arms to help them, their skin would slide off like a glove. The Japanese army had no idea Hiroshima had been bombed until an entire day after it happened. This was because there was no way to communicate with them, since the bomb destroyed all phone lines, telegraph lines, and radio transmitters. They had to literally fly an official out to Hiroshima to find out why they weren't communicating, and he found a city that was completely obliterated. Albert Einstein encouraged President Roosevelt to develop the atomic bomb because he feared the Nazis would make one first. But he deeply regretted this after hearing about the devastation of Hiroshima, and knowing that his discoveries led to the invention of the atomic bomb made him very depressed. Here's a watch found in the Hiroshima rubble that's permanently stopped at 8:15 a.m., the exact time of the bomb's detonation. Godzilla was created as a metaphor for nuclear weapons and was given the appearance of a Hiroshima victim. His atomic breath is meant to symbolize the blasts and devastation of the bombs, and he's covered in keloid scars to depict the brutal body scars of Hiroshima survivors. In fact, those who suffered the most from the bombings were in such horrific condition that people called them ant-walking alligators. According to one account, they were described to be, quote, faceless with their heads transformed into blackened alligator hides with red holes indicating mouths. They had once been human. When the sky exploded, they'd had the misfortune to survive. The alligator people did not scream. Their mouths couldn't form the sounds. The noise they made was worse than screaming. They uttered a continuous murmur like locusts on a midsummer night. One man, staggering on the charred stumps of legs, was carrying a dead baby upside down. None of them survived for long.
Now, when you get that in depth about the kind of destruction Hiroshima left, you can't do nothing but send prayers that way.
Proving the Earth was flat, but it backfired in the most spectacular way. This group of flat earthers were tired of being mocked and ready to debunk science, proving round earthers wrong once and for all. They had some ideas up their sleeves and made their very own documentary so no one could question the validity of their claims. First, they put their money together to buy a $30,000 tool which can gauge the Earth's motion, believing that if the Earth were indeed a sphere, they would see a 15-degree-per-hour drift, which is exactly what the tool showed. They were not fans of that conclusion and said, quote, we obviously weren't going to accept that. So they came up with experiment number 2, a very simple test. They cut holes in 2 boards and placed them far apart, with a light on one side and a camera on the other. If the Earth was flat, the camera and light would see each other when held at the same height. If the Earth was round, the light would need to be higher to account for curvature.
We don't see you, Enrique. Lift up your light way above your head. Interesting.
You hear a scary story? Please. Dyatlov Pass. In 1959, these 9 hikers from Russia went on a hiking expedition through the Siberian wilderness. Anytime they could, they would write a letter back home and stuff. And then one day, letters stopped coming in, so they went out there. When they came to the site, the tent had been cut open from the inside out. They went out and they're like, where are these people? They followed these foot tracks, and then they saw one dude on the ground who had 3rd-degree burn marks on his legs, was like missing half of his sweater. Another dude that was up in a tree who had bitten off part of his hand that was also slightly undressed as well. And some of them were completely undressed, and 2 of them, when they tested them, they had sparks of radiation on them. What? There's just all kinds of theories. And like, they were like super far away from their campsite, or actually not that far away from their campsite. They all died of hypothermia, basically. But the conditions of what they were left in, it's like, what the heck happened to them? Dude.
I think I've heard this too. Wasn't there like a couple people whose faces were all like ripped up?
On the 21st of December 2018, New York Times posted an article titled, "What is Glitter?" This was supposed to be nothing more than an educational article on what glitter is and where it's used in our day-to-day lives. However, what its author didn't realize at the time was that this would ignite one of the most heavily debated rabbit holes in internet history. It started with an odd conversation between the article's writer and a manager from GlitterX, which is one of the largest glitter manufacturers in the US. When I asked Miss Dyer if she could tell me which industry served as GlitterX's biggest market, her answer was instant. No, I absolutely know I can't. I was taken aback. But you know what it is? Oh god, yes, she said and laughed. You would never guess it. Let's just leave it at that. I asked if she could tell me why she couldn't tell me. Because they don't want you to know that it's glitter. If I looked at it, I wouldn't know it was glitter? No, not really. Would I be able to see the glitter? Oh, you'd be able to see something, but yeah, I can. The writer then asked if she could tell the buyer's name off record.
I wonder why GPS even needs cell towers. If it's supposedly powered by space satellites? Hang on tight. This one's going to scramble your brain. We've been told that GPS works through a magical network of over 30 satellites floating in perfect orbits, pinging your phone from 20,000 kilometers above Earth. Sounds slick, right? But here's the catch. If GPS is all satellite-based, why does it stop working indoors? Why do we need massive ground-based tower networks? And why is GPS coverage worst in remote areas, where satellites should theoretically be best? Even crazier, did you know that Google Maps won't work if you disable cellular data? Go ahead, try it. So what's really going on? Well, it's pretty simple, really. GPS isn't what they told us. It's not satellite magic from outer space. It's a system based on terrestrial towers, cables, and land-based triangulation. This isn't a conspiracy theory. Even GPS engineers admit that ground stations are crucial to the system. Ever seen those giant white radar domes scattered all over the world? That's not satellite support, that's the actual system. And if the Earth is flat and covered in towers and undersea fiber optics, then GPS doesn't need space at all. It just needs land, line of sight, and the cover of a clever story. Back in 2010, the US military actually tested these GPS denial zones. Whole regions were just cut off by turning off local towers. Not satellites, towers. And honestly, if GPS was really satellite-based, how could that even work? Also, did you know that airplanes actually use a completely different system called inertial navigation, and that's backed by ground beacons when they're flying over oceans? They don't trust GPS alone. Seriously, ask a pilot. And this one's wild countries like South Korea and Russia have developed their own regional GPS networks, totally land-based. No satellite orbit required. If GPS came from space, wouldn't it work the same everywhere? Unless, of course, space isn't what we were told. Still think GPS proves we live on a spinning space ball? Or is it just another cleverly designed system that works perfectly on a flat, grounded Earth? If this messed with your head even a little, you're waking up. Hit follow, dive into the next video and stick around. Because we're exposing the next illusion, eclipses that defy physics on a globe. Let's go deeper. This is for entertainment purposes.
They tell us what they're doing, and then they laugh about it.
He's an early 30, and you're a late 50. Yeah. But somehow you both look the same age there. I mean, you know, there's something to be said for being with a younger man.
I suck babies and put it on my face.
One of Oprah's favorites. She says it's a miracle fountain of youth.
I do that. Oprah did.
Yeah, Oprah did it. All right, so here, we're going to rub it right in.
How come it's red?
I'll show you in a sec, Steve. So this is made from growth hormones of human
Look,
foreskin.
the wrinkles has just disappeared.
So it's made from human foreskin.
Tell us about this facial that you're obsessed with. Explain what it is.
Well, you push in whatever the facialist would like to insert into your pores.
But what is it?
It is an extraction from a piece of skin that came from a young person far, far away, and they somehow figured out how to extract.
It's foreskin from a Korean baby.
Okay.
Who comes up with this?
I don't think. It's not like I'm lying there with little pieces all over my face. It's like.
Who thinks of collecting it and having it for We'll do something with this.
Now, Ellen is asking all the right questions. I mean, who comes up with something like that? And like, how would you even come to that conclusion that that works?
Simple question. Are we going to make it?
We're overdue for a 12,500 year cycle. And it's interesting that it's happening when all of the other things that are happening in the world right now. The odds statistically are greater that we are living in a simulated, a virtual reality than we are not. But they're showing the underwater images of these massive pyramids and complex road systems that are underwater. We will be able to read the writing on those temple walls. Those temple walls are us from another cycle in our ancient past. The more we wake up, the more we create a sense and we begin to become more self-sufficient. But there's something within us that is so rare and beautiful and sacred and powerful and special that we are worth awakening and preserving.
Well, it seems like mermaids, sirens, and underwater civilizations are continuing to be a very hot topic, especially since the underwater earthquake happened. Now, the video that I want to show you today is coming out of Chile. Now, I'm going to let you know what this looks like. It does look like a group of mermaids or sirens or some kind of underwater alien advanced civilization. Now, the video is captured in Chile. I didn't film the video, but I'm going to show you because I want you guys to see. Now, a lot of the original comments on the original video, people say it's a school of whales, or it could be orca, which are whales, and a bunch of different other sea creatures. But once you see this video, not going to lie, it does look like humanoid creatures coming up and down out of the water. But take a look at this video and let me know what you think. Now, a lot of people are theorizing that the underwater earthquake that went off last week is the reason all of these creatures and mermaids and sirens and aliens are coming to the surface. But what do you think? Do you think they're any of those? Do you think they're mermaids? Do you think they're whales? Let's have this conversation today.
I mean, you can't say that it's not real because for all we know, mermaids might start popping up just like UFOs did.
The White House looks to establish a presence on the moon. One pressing question is, where would the power come from? NASA appears to have found an atomic answer. Here's ABC's Andrew Dimberg.
The space race is back, and this time it's nuclear.
Get off the nuclear warhead.
But not like that. Acting NASA Administrator Sean Duffy is set to announce the agency is fast-tracking plans to build a nuclear reactor on the moon. Documents obtained by Politico reveal NASA will solicit proposals for a 100-kilowatt nuclear reactor that would launch to the lunar surface by 2030.
And we're going back to the moon in order to learn to live, to work, to survive.
NASA has made returning to the moon and establishing a lasting human presence there a top priority. Power is key to building bases, supporting crews, and staying long-term. And with 14 days of darkness on the moon each month, solar power won't cut it. So the race is on to be the first to bring power to the moon. The directive warning, if other countries manage to build a reactor first, they could declare a keep-out zone, which would significantly inhibit the United States. China and Russia currently have a joint plan to bring a reactor to the moon by 2035. A senior NASA official saying it is about winning the second space race. The UK is already working on its own lunar reactor, partnering with Rolls-Royce to build a miniaturized system that could support humans on the moon.
It's a very small reactor that we can absolutely launch into space, so it's about the size of a car, and it allows us to give continuous energy and electricity. When you've got the sun, you can use solar, but if you want to explore the dark side of the moon and go around the other side, actually you're going to need something else, so the nuclear power allows you to do that.
Andrew Dimber, ABC News, New York.
Now, do you already see the drama that's about to unfold? I mean, it sounds like World War IV to me. They're in a race to get on the moon to put up a power plant. And the first person there can declare some kind of keep-out order. So, yeah, it sounds like, man, we're getting ready to head into all kinds of drama, man. I can see it now.
TV's watching you, and I'm not being paranoid. Right now, your smart TV is taking screenshots of everything you watch multiple times per minute. It's called automatic content recognition, and you probably agreed to it without even knowing. It sends that data to your TV manufacturer and data brokers. They know everything you watch, and they're selling it hundreds of times per day. But it gets worse. ACR doesn't just capture TV shows, it screenshots whatever's on your screen. So your home security camera feeds, your video calls, your personal photos, even content from devices connected by HDMI or AirPlay. The creepiest part is even if you disconnect your TV from the internet, it can still save the data. The second you reconnect for an update, it uploads everything, and that data can be linked to your IP address, email, or even your physical address. And it makes you wonder, how much is your privacy really worth?
You know, literally anybody that lives anywhere across the entire East Coast, you might want to watch this video because experts are now warning that there's a giant invasive spider that's coming. Scientists are now warning that there's a giant invasive Joro spider with 6-foot webs that could be poised to take over US cities. So fun, thank you. If you don't know what a Joro spider is, they're basically a species of orb-weaving spiders, which is a group known for creating highly symmetrical circular webs. Cute. They're also saying that Joro spiders can build unique webs that could be more than 6 feet long and appear golden when they reflect sunlight. Okay, just to make this a little bit better for you, whenever the eggs hatch in spring, the baby spiders create parachute-like webs that enable them to fly up to 100 miles away from where they were born. Joro spiders are actually supposed to be in Asia, but they were recently found in Japan, Korea, Taiwan, and China. And then, by the way, experts are believing that these invasive individuals were accidentally brought to the US inside a shipping container. So, as of right now, these spiders have been spotted in Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Tennessee, and they've also been spotted in Alabama, Maryland, Oklahoma, and West Virginia. So, good luck. I give you these news roundups every day, so make sure you add me and come back to me tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm not down with the spiders. It's time to stock up on the raid.
Normal, but are actually a sign of a mental illness. Needing to have the fan on while you sleep, it's a sign of a mental illness.
I mean, tell that to anybody living in any of these states that's just like burning hot. Texas, Arizona. So all these people got mental illness because they like to be cool when they're sleeping. I'm not too sure about that. Let me know what you think.
And I didn't start saying I was going to be famous till I was about 13. That's when I started going, I'm going to be famous, I'm going to be famous, I'm going to be famous.
How did you know?
Now, this is getting a long story. I had a girlfriend named Sherry who was a clairvoyant. And she could really like read stuff. She could like put her hands on stuff and see stuff with her hands. And it's real stuff. And you could put her hand in a newspaper and tell you the stuff in the paper. And you could put money in her hand. She could tell you what the bill was.
Really?
And she could put her hand in the photo album and tell you who was on the picture. And I would like, since she was my girlfriend when I was like 13, 14. And she told me, you're gonna be famous.
Really?
And she told me, and I was, yeah, I knew it. And she said, yeah, you are gonna be famous. And here, right? But yeah, Sherry Bell was the first one that really solidified it because I felt it, and then I seen her reading shit with her hands, and then she told me I was like, oh, if she could read, if she could do that shit, she definitely knows I'm gonna be famous. She had some kind of neurological problem, and she was bedridden all of her 20s, and I took care of her, and she passed away when I was doing Nutty Professor.
Really?
And I took care of her all the way from high school all the way up to those years when she was bedridden. And on the set, we're talking about Sherry Bell, you started it. We're on the set of Nutty Professor, and we're shooting one big scene, and all the lights go out. And the whole set is all black. We still all the power left. We go back to the trailer. Then on the way to the trailer, somebody came and told me, hey, Sherry Bell passed away.
Oh, wow.
It's like, lights out.
Holy shit.
Yeah. But now we all off some other creepy shit. Speedy, you had no idea you was gonna be doing a new Tyler Henry type show.
I had no idea. Thank you for this experience.
You're gonna pull out your crystal ball or you have a seance.
I mean, at 14 years old, I know that must have blew his mind. And you know what I mean? Because you already have, some kind of dreams for yourself. But when you can hear it like that and you witness somebody close to you, do all these miraculous things, it's pretty amazing.
People living inside GTA 6 right now. I know you're thinking, Matt, what the hell are you on about? Trust me, this is insane. We all know how advanced GTA 6 is going to be, right? Like all of the crazy graphics and the theories that have been going around of, well, what are some features that's going to be of this game that could be, like, insane? Now, you've probably seen the one big theory of, well, maybe you can even earn real-world money in this game. Like, you could essentially work in GTA 6 eventually and not have a real job. It's far crazier than that. trust me. You've probably seen this animation before, right? This is on a website, you can go on it, and this butterfly is, well, alive. Like, it's a person. And here, if you look on their website, what's this? Well, this is actual human brains. And you can come in here and actually control it. I can say, well, I want to test it with this. And it actually shows it. It seems complicated because you don't really get what that is, but it is essentially lab-grown brains that they have put into this computer system that can do work for people. In other words, what's in here is the equivalent of human brains. They were just grown in a lab themselves, but these brains think they're real. So the butterfly simulation thinks it's a real butterfly, but it's being told what to do by the people. So there's this crazy theory that's been going around that, well, GTA 6, being as developed and advanced as it is, could involve AI to a huge degree with these lab-grown brains. So what if it's so advanced that the characters in the game aren't just realistic, but they actually think they are real? Because they have these AI brains programmed into them, which, yeah, it sounds crazy, but it's not that unrealistic. It would be possible to put one of these AI lab-grown brains in one of these people and make them think they are real.
I mean, that does sound about right. You know, the next evolution of gaming. People will never leave their house, especially if you're getting paid for it.
The criminal was so dumb, scientists actually came up with a new term to describe his level of stupidity. MacArthur Wheeler put some lemon juice on his face and walked into a Pittsburgh bank demanding the money. Now, usually criminals try to conceal their identity, so the tellers were shocked he was doing all this in broad daylight without a mask or anything. That shock led to confusion when MacArthur told them, quote, "Don't worry, I have a face, it's just invisible." The security footage was shared on the local news that night, and police got tips that it was MacArthur. When police arrived at MacArthur's home, he was stunned and mumbled to himself, "But I wore the juice." Turns out MacArthur recently found out that lemon juice could be an invisible ink that only shows up when heated, and he thought that would make him invisible as well. He even tested it before his heist by taking a Polaroid selfie, which showed he was invisible. Or so he thought. Turns out lemon juice just got in his eyes and he didn't actually point the camera at himself. He's the reason for the Dunning-Kruger effect, when someone is too incompetent to realize how incompetent they are.
Oh, just a few bricks short of a building. A few tacos short of a combination plate. The boy was lost.
I done met some strange people. I met a family of people, nobody had a belly button. You feel me? So I'm asking, like, what's going on? They're like, yeah, be quiet, don't say anything about it. I'm like, man, what the? Okay. And then, you know, you start seeing international laws about banning cloning. The international laws is to ban human cloning, though. If you can clone a dog, you can clone a person. You can buy a designer dog right now.
Yup. 50K, right?
50K, you get a designer dog. So, you know, we just recently seen Trump make a comment saying that Biden was a clone. Retired FBI agent John D'Souza, who ran the X-Files program for the FBI, he has been calling out about this. He calls him Biden's clone. A lot of the events that have been taking place, this gentleman has called them. And I do know that they have these farms where people are having certain organs in their body grown in case they need to replace them in their own body.
Wow.
So then you see people like Musk getting telekinesis patented. And he's doing the Neuralink. So now they're getting ready to make quadriplegic people be able to walk again. And then now they got these cloning farms. You can replace your organ. You can't do that without nanotech.
That's crazy.
Because the nanotech removes the aspect of your body accepting an implant. Sometimes people's bodies will reject an implant that they got. The nanotechnology removes that. So that means what? You're going to see a lot of missing people. It's a proven fact that in the trafficking world, after a while, they can't sell a person anymore. They murder them and harvest their organs.
Wow.
So, you know, certain countries you can travel to, a kidney is going to be 40 grand. If you get the right nanotechnology, that 40 grand kidney goes to 100 grand because your body's not going to reject it.
Damn.
What in there? I'm recording it. What the hell is that? The picture behind me might look like a normal photo, but it's actually one of the most sinister, real-life haunted photos in history. Taken by a professional photographer in 1972 as guests arrived for a wedding, everything in this picture looks happy and normal. But if you take a closer look at the man standing in black, you'll see something odd. You can actually see somebody in white crouching behind the man. All 4 of the people in the picture said that there was no one behind them when it was taken. The photographer said the same thing, and that it would be impossible for someone to crouch behind them without him seeing them. This is a better picture where you can actually see the guy's legs, and then in the top you can see his eyes. The picture was even examined by police photographers, and they confirmed that it was genuine. In 1942, this photo was taken at this couple's wedding with a box camera. The couple is smiling, but somebody else in the picture is not very happy about this day. If you pay close attention to the tree on the right, you'll notice something disturbing. An image of an angered woman in the trees is shown reaching out at the couple. Now, this actual photo was passed down through the generations, so there's no way that it could have been photoshopped. When you zoom in again, the image is even more terrifying.
If the moon is supposed to be a giant ball of rock 238,000 miles away, then why can we see so much dang detail on it with just a regular old camera? I mean, seriously, craters, shadows, shapes. You can zoom in like it's your neighbor's backyard. Shouldn't it be just a blurry speck if it's that far? Something's not adding up. And it might just flip your entire worldview upside down. Or should I say, flatten it. We've all been taught since kindergarten that the moon orbits around Earth. It reflects sunlight, and it's millions of square miles wide and far, far away. But there's a weird number of things about the moon that don't make sense on a spinning globe. First off, the moon doesn't rotate the way we'd expect. It always shows us the same face. How? On a spinning ball zipping through space at over 1,000 miles per hour? And here's a kicker. The moon actually produces its own light. Yeah, laugh all you want. But why is moonlight demonstrably cooler than moonshade? Sunlight doesn't do that, at all. Now here's where it gets juicy. Flat Earth models offer a totally different take, and honestly it weirdly fits. Instead of imagining the moon as a distant rock floating in space, think of it as a much smaller, local light source circling above us like a spotlight. This explains why moonlight has those cool temperature anomalies, why we see so much surface detail, and why its phases seem so precise and mechanical. It's like a clock in the sky, not a chaotic chunk flying through space. Oh, and those lunar eclipses? There are even ancient records of eclipses happening while both the sun and moon were visible in the sky at the same time. How's that possible on a globe? Let's break it down even more. Ever noticed how shadows from the moon don't line up with the sun's angle? Or how moonlight can actually reduce visibility in some cases instead of helping us see? Flat earthers argue that's because it's a light of its own, not reflected sunlight, and the fact that it moves in tight, repetitive loops over the flat plane. It supports a domed model, like a planetarium, not a flying space rock. Even pilots have reported strange things about the moon's positioning, and ancient cultures described it as transparent or semi-ethereal. This isn't your average just trust NASA conversation anymore. This is real observation. Still think the moon's just a rock floating in the void? Or are you starting to see how it could be part of a much bigger lie? If your brain's doing cartwheels right now, hit that follow button, because we're just scratching the surface. Trust me, once you start looking at the sky with new eyes, you'll never unsee it. There's a whole series waiting for you right here. Let's uncover the truth, one illusion at a time.
Crazy things happening in the world right now. New cat coat color discovered a new cat fur color called salmiak, or salty licorice, has been found. The hair starts black at the root and fades to white at the tip. It's caused by a recessive genetic mutation. 4 million homes abandoned in Japan. About 13% of Japan's homes are empty. This is the 16th year in a row Japan's population is shrinking. Many towns and villages are becoming ghost towns. OpenAI beats Elon Musk's Grok in chess. OpenAI's ChatGPT won against Elon Musk's Grok in the AI chess final. Chess is often used to test AI skill. This win marks a big step for OpenAI.
Hey, now you know Elon's pissed about that, right? You ain't trying to lose to OpenAI at all.
Hi, you are currently being recorded.
On March 9th, this TikToker posted a video from her Ring camera of a woman acting incredibly strange and clutching something in her bag. and this would turn out to be one of the most disturbing Ring doorbell videos I've seen. But before I explain everything in full, I'll let you see the video first. Take a look.
How may I help you? I can't hear you.
Hi. Are you aware of me coming by today?
No. Who are you?
Oh. I'm Joy.
Okay, and who are you looking for?
Oh. Alright, I'm sorry. I probably got the wrong house.
Yeah.
As you can see, she's acting incredibly odd and standing in place for long periods of time, and viewers would later discover that this video was of Rhonda Polynice, whom just days later would be caught on body cam during a welfare check for her son, Ramil Peer, who hadn't shown up to school in weeks. And during this encounter, she acted very nonchalant about the whereabouts of her son until eventually allowing them inside, where unfortunately the police would discover the body of Ramil at the hands of Rhonda during an exorcism, claiming he was possessed. Here's a short clip of that encounter.
She's just trying to pull up a picture of her ID and then gonna go inside so we can at least.
He's in there?
That's what she said.
Rhonda would eventually confess to taking the life of young Ramil, which makes this Ring video even more disturbing, knowing that it was only days earlier. And what many people don't know is that she had a TikTok account, and in it she described her troubles with her ex-boyfriend, as well as her rough upbringing. But this clip I found was one of the more disturbing videos taken from her social media. But let me know, what do you think?
How the saying goes, if you want something done correctly, you have to do it yourself.
Well, you guys, hey, that's another one in the books, man. Happy Saturday. Enjoy your weekend. And before we sign off, smash that like button for me. Smash that subscribe button and join the iTrack fam, man. And I will definitely catch you on the next one.